Chair.
Honorable members, I have the following communication to make. This regards a visit by Kisau Stars Academy pupils. Honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence of teachers and pupils of Kisau Stars Academy from Kisau Kitata Ward, seated in the Speaker's Gallery. They are here on a study visit to the County Assembly to learn about operations of the roles of the County Assembly. Honorable members, I will recognize the teachers and student body by name. They may stand when called and bow to the assembly as a sign of respect. Teachers: Joseph Ruben Maseki, Director. Mr. Gerard Mwanya, Principal. Teacher Mutuku, Grade 7 class teacher. Teacher Zatsinda, Grade 9 class teacher. Teacher Mutiso, Grade 8 class teacher. And Teacher Chacha, Grade 6 class teacher. Student body is represented as follows. 1, His Excellency, Excellency Annette Nduku, the President of the school. Excellency Abraham Kikio, the Deputy President. Right Honorable Robert Musau, the Speaker. Cynthia Mutuku, the Governor, Grade 9. Fabian Safari, Deputy Governor, Grade 9. Noah Ndanu, Governor, Grade 8. Patience Chalo, Governor, Grade 7. Wilson Mutua, this is Health, it's called Health and Diet Captain, Dining Hall. I think this dining hall captain, should be reviewed. This is healthcare and other things. Malim consider that. Dining is just eating, and after you eat, you go some other place. So let us make it functional to look like it's a health and nutrition. That makes sense. Evelyn Silla, Assistant Health and Nutrition Captain. Gabriela Samenya, Compound Minister, Environment. Leon Kitonga, Scouts Commander. Kilonzo Peter, Dormitory Captain. Samuel Muwo, Assistant Dormitory Captain. And Lewis Muwo, Games and Sports Captain. Honorable members, for the information of the visitors and pupils, the Constitution of Kenya provides 47 county governments, each comprising of the County Assembly and County Executive. The County Executive comprises of Governor, Deputy Governor, County Ministers, and the functions of the County Executive is to implement laws within the county to ensure that these are the people that will be sitting on these chairs in a few years to come. I want to congratulate the executive that have been introduced. Though, Mr. Speaker, I have seen the Speaker of the school is sitting right at the back bench. I want to encourage the Speaker to be sitting at the front so that people can bow before him. They cannot bow when he's seated at the back bench. Otherwise, I want to wish them well, and we shall talk after the assembly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Fair enough. Honorable Elizabeth Mutindi, teacher. Having made that request, I have the following directions to make. That the sergeant at arms, you usher in the Honorable Right Speaker of Kisau Stars to take the seat between the teacher lady in purple. I don't know whether it's purple or pink. I'm colorblind. And the teacher on the black suit, white shirt, and a red tie. Proceed, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Sarah Bilo. Teacher Honorable Sarah Bilo. Proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Having been a teacher,
I'm humbled to take this opportunity to welcome the students, teachers, and those who have accompanied them from Kisau Stars Academy. I want to inform them that my last school was Kadamba Primary School in Mbone, and I know where their school is. It is one of the best in those areas. I want to take the opportunity to tell them to be most welcome to this place and appreciate the teachers, the administration, the board of management, and all those who were involved in their planning to make the students come to this honorable house. As I welcome you, I want to tell you that you made the right decision to come and learn from this house. This was the best decision to make in your school. I want to appreciate the Students' Council and the students' leaders, especially their speaker, who has been promoted by our speaker. And remember, when our speaker promotes you, naturally you are promoted. From this day, know that one day in your life, you will be a national leader like our speaker. Remember, our speaker is not just a speaker of this assembly, but he is a national leader, and we are proud of our speaker. I want to urge the students that after this visit, when you go back, remember to take what you learn from this house to the other students. And as a teacher, my urge to you is remain disciplined, work very hard, set targets and work for them, and be determined in what you do. And I want to tell you that your future will be very bright. I want to say that as we wish you well, we want to tell you that we work well with your MCA, and now that is not in today, is somewhere working for the people of your area. The message that you take home, go and say that you have the best, you have one of the best MCAs. Your parents elected well, and they are well represented. You are also well represented here by your MCA. I want to wish you well and wish you the best in your endeavors when you go back to school. Teachers, I want to appreciate you and tell you that you have seen we have teachers in this house, and tomorrow you can also be anything. Being a teacher is not the end of life. It is not the end of where you will work. You will also be able to work elsewhere with a lot of determination. I want to wish you well. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity.
Member for Mboni Ward, Honorable Alexander Mulemba, the closest neighbor to Kisau Kiteta Ward.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome the delegation from Kisau and tell them that they have made the right choice to visit Makueni County Assembly, where we do represent their areas, give their views, the views of the citizens. We do legislation, then we do oversight. We check on all the projects that the citizens have proposed for budgeting. We do the budgeting process. We pass the budget. Then we go back when the projects are being done. We do implementation, oversight. We check whether the projects are done according to the wish of the citizen, and we ensure that the projects benefit the citizens. So they have done the right choice to visit Makueni County Assembly. I wish them well, and I can see pure leaders in that group. So God bless you as you pursue your future endeavors in education. Thank you.
Honorable Engineer Ndolo, member for Okia Ward. Honorable Engineer, you
Yeah?
up to Kaumoni,
Yes, Moyu, up to Moyu.
up to Muyo,
Yes, I
including-
border
including Ba.
Kisau Kiteta at Uganda, Chakuta.
Very good. Proceed.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me welcome Kisau Star Academy to this assembly and also congratulate the executive for having it, seeing it good to bring our young boys and girls to come and learn in this assembly. My name is Engineer Jackson Dolo. I represent Okia Ward, which borders Kisau, Kiteta. Actually, I'm the closest. I represent the closest ward to Kisau. Your honorable member, Honorable Mainga, is my friend, and this is where he represents you. This is the house where all the honorable members, all the county assembly members represent each ward. Makueni has 30 wards, yours included. And I want to encourage you to be focused, to be disciplined, so that you can be able to become what you aspire to be. You can be a speaker, like our speaker here. You can be one of us here, an honorable member. You can also be an MP to represent the whole Mboni constituency. So it is a matter of working hard. And I want to assure you today, you are going to learn a lot from this assembly. And when you go back to your school, you also take that knowledge to the school. And in case there are others who have not been able to come here, you also find a way they come and also learn like you. Therefore, I want to wish you well and wish you better learning in this assembly. You see what we normally do here. We represent you here. This is where we make laws, we legislate, and also we represent you. The issues you come up from the ward, you bring them to your honorable member, and he comes here to represent you. Also, we also do oversight. All the projects which are done by the county assembly are oversighted by these members. And we also make the budget which do those projects in our respective wards. Therefore, thank you so much, and I wish you well. Thank you.
Lastly, Honorable Manzu, member for K Ward, representing the majority party. You have the blessing of the party to be the leader of the majority in acting. Go ahead. Leader of the majority party.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. To our visitors from the Kisau Stars Academy, I will first start by appreciating and thanking the Almighty Lord for enabling us to be here today. Two, I appreciate and congratulate the teachers and management of the school and the leadership of the pupils and the pupils in general. I am not a teacher, but a businessman and an honorable member representing the people of K Ward. And my names are Branas Manzuyulu. And I take this opportunity to welcome you in these chambers. It is a good learning session. And as the speaker said, our majority leader is away, and he yesterday said that I should poured on his behalf, and today I've seen the fruits of being humble. The speaker of the school saw it fit to be humble and sit at the back bench, and he was raised from the back bench and brought in front. That is a lesson that you've learned. Being humble can raise you from grounds where you are not recognized to grounds that you are recognized. I am also a parent, and I have some few words to the pupils. As long as you have come here as a school, I know there are classes, but one fact is that once you are going to, in time, you are going to be through with your studies. And one fact is that you will receive your resort slip as an individual, not a class. So the efforts that you make, you will be rewarded as an individual. I also urge the pupils to observe enough discipline, because education without discipline is actually watered down. So their discipline will determine the far they'll go in life. And in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, going downwards, the Bible says there is time for everything. And if it is time for learning, let the pupils learn. If it is time for the teachers to teach, let the teachers teach. And in every good or bad we do, there is always a reward. So today will determine the tomorrow. And my last parting shot, even if sugarcane is considered to be very sweet, at the end, you just...
Honorable Nzao, Honorable Nzai, member for Kaskeu, I wish to remind you that in the presence of the deputy leader of the majority, you can't assume the position of the leader of the minority party. There's no vacuum. In the case of a wiper, it's different. But having said that, it's also the position of the Speaker of the County Assembly, who presides over the sitting of the County Assembly, and deputized by the Deputy Speaker of the County Assembly. And I've seen a request from Honorable Francis Mwanya, member from Tito Adey Ward, and the former student from Betwane Primary School, neighboring Savo in the bush there. But he found his way to Kaba High School some few years back. I think that should have been 1995 or thereabout. It is 1995 or thereabout, he was in secondary school. Proceed, Honorable David Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker, for the opportunity. However, you failed to understand I'm among the oldest people in this assembly. I left Kaba High School in 1991 when I joined the University of Nairobi. So I'm relatively a bit old. So thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to take this opportunity to welcome the students and pupils and teachers and parents and the board members from Kisau Stars Academy. This is an opportunity for them to come and learn. It's also an opportunity for them to have a time and relax. So my only appeal is that hard work will only see you through in your exams, in your life. There is no shortcut in life. You need to work hard, and extremely hard. So that is my appeal to you. And also, we also work with your MCA who is away, and I also believe is a hard-working man. And also, you know, his brother is also a hard-working man. For a man in this country to head the Kenya Railways, he's also a hard-working man. So I wish all the best as you go back to school. Put more effort. I know you'll be a bit now energized because you are now free to come out and learn something from this county assembly. Thank you, and may God bless you all. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable members, proceed to the next order. I would direct that we skip Order number, honorable members and students, the assembly agenda is contained in a document called an order paper. The first agenda item is communication from the chair, which I've done. The next one is messages, either from the governor, from the president, or from the Senate. The third one is petitions. These are documents that are directly addressed by citizens to the County Assembly. And then the fourth one is papers. These are documents presented by the chairpersons of the committee to the County Assembly. And then after that, we go to notices of motions to give a notice of motion to be debated later. And then we go to what we refer to as statements of question time and answer. After that, we go to motions. Honorable members, I will direct to proceed straight to order number 7. Clerk. Next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Honorable members, I wish to bring to the attention of the House that Honorable Felix Mateso this morning, he requested members of this House to accompany him to Kaiti River, which happens to be one of the major sources of water in Wote, after the morning sitting. And they conducted an oversight to investigate the reasons and circumstances under which there is no sufficient water supply in Wote town. The Honorable Felix Mateso, who is the member of County Assembly representative, Wote Ward, where we are, he has a statement that he would wish to make that he feels is a matter of importance. Honorable Felix Mateso.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, allow me to join my colleagues to welcome the pupils and students of the South Star Academy. Mr. Speaker, I'm proud because I host every guest who comes to this assembly by virtue of being the member of County Assembly for Water Ward. Mr. Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to give the statement. Mr. Speaker, for the last 1 month, Mr. Speaker, we've had a shortage of water in this town, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, this is a town we share, all of us, Mr. Speaker. Because, Mr. Speaker, everybody here is a resident of this town. And when we do not have water in this town, Mr. Speaker, is a concern for everybody. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank members. Actually, I was today accompanied by 8 members to one of the major sources of water for this town, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, if you allow me, I can just mention the members who accompanied me. And one was Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Benedict Maneno, Honorable Alex Mulemba, Honorable Martina Ngusie, Honorable Elizabeth Mutindi, Honorable Sarah Mbilo, Honorable Esther Ngila, and myself, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's unfortunate to say that we have a lot of water, and especially in that source. But, Mr. Speaker, the apparatus that are used to pump water to this town, Mr. Speaker, are actually the biggest problem, Mr. Speaker. Because, Mr. Speaker, there are many equipment on that site, Mr. Speaker, where we actually got even donation from Red Cross, Mr. Speaker, very good equipment, but they are not working. Mr. Speaker, the only pump that is pumping water to the tanks at Camarel is actually inefficient, Mr. Speaker, because it can only pump for a few hours, then it is sent on standby. The water is now pumped, wait for another like 4 hours, and then it is now pumped, Mr. Speaker. Looking at the population of this town, Mr. Speaker, we need a very big plan, Mr. Speaker, to restore water for the people in this town, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the other source, which is Mwanebo, Mr. Speaker, we had a bill of 8 million, Mr. Speaker, for Kenya Power, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, because the Owasco company, which is the service provider for water in this town, Mr. Speaker, is not able to raise revenue to pay that amount of money, Mr. Speaker. They can only be paid either by a department, money is borrowed to pay those bills, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we cannot afford to operate with borrowed money because the revenue from the water is not able, Mr. Speaker, to pay up this bill. So, Mr. Speaker, I think this government must come out with a comprehensive way of making sure that this town has enough water, Mr. Speaker. Because, Mr. Speaker, it is actually a perennial problem. Since I came to this house, Mr. Speaker, we've had problems of water every January, every August, with problems of water. Mr. Speaker, even my colleagues here can attest to that they are using water from the Bunge vendors who are supplying water, Mr. Speaker. They are aware, and I want to thank you. I want to thank them for actually accompanying me and realizing that there's a problem of water in this town, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I urge these members to help me locate some good budget, Mr. Speaker, come the next financial year, so that we can sort this problem of water for water once and for all, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have been told that water will come from Thwake, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, we doubt that we will get this water, Mr. Speaker, anytime soon, Mr. Speaker, since the project has stuck, and since I think we may not benefit out of that project. I believe that a lasting solution for water shortage in this town must be put in place, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to say that the problem is still there. We do not have a solution at the moment, Mr. Speaker, because we need some big, huge amount of budgets to make sure that there is enough water, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I just urge this assembly to actually make sure that they assist me in this problem the way they have done, Mr. Speaker. We may have to give a report even to the governor so that he can understand exactly what the problem that we have. I do not understand if the department is really aware of what is happening. So, Mr. Speaker, because even the distribution pipes, Mr. Speaker, that distribute water to the estates, Mr. Speaker, we are done long time ago, Mr. Speaker. Many of them are blocked, Mr. Speaker, and they are not even able to supply water to the households, Mr. Speaker. At the same time, Mr. Speaker, there is also it is also alleged that there is a lot of legal connections, Mr. Speaker, because you are not able to relocate even the piping where the distribution has been done, Mr. Speaker. And to make it worse, Mr. Speaker, even the main piping from Moani to Noah, where there are the tanks, Mr. Speaker, people have even built on top of that pipeline, Mr. Speaker. You can imagine the pipeline of 6-inch passing under the floor of a house, Mr. Speaker. It's also dangerous, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, a lot need to be done so that we can have adequate water. It's a shame, Mr. Speaker, because anyone who wants to invest in this town, Mr. Speaker, and there is no water, Mr. Speaker, this tells you that nobody will come to invest in a town where there is no water. And this town being the headquarters of this county, Mr. Speaker, we will have to redouble our efforts to make sure that there is enough water for this town, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Cosmas Kaleli, member for Mulala Emali Ward.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I raise, Honorable Speaker, what the member for Watensi Ward. Sometimes back, some people would refer to water as the donkey market, because water is being supplied by donkeys in water. So it was not a good analogy. It was like an insult, but that is the reality. We have serious water challenges in our HQ. Honorable Speaker, the main challenge which is facing our HQ on matters of water is one because of corruption. Honorable Speaker, we have several projects, some sponsored from the national government, from the Department of Irrigation, through Tanahath, like the Kamunyoro water, whereby due to poor workmanship, the Kamunyolo project, which consumed millions of money, up to date, it is not functional. Tanahath has misused the water resources, which should have supplied enough water to our HQ. So if we perfectly deal with these fires, the corruption, we will have this matter of water shortage being dealt with perfectly. Honorable Speaker, the Kamunyoro Dam was swept away recently because of the substandard jobs undertaken, because the contractors, whereby the contractors were being awarded from the national government through the Ministry of Water and Irrigation, this time not from the county level. That confusion from the national government and county governments on the default functions is a skilled system to corrupt and steal monies meant for the public gain. I wish the national government can squarely default resources meant for county functions, because county functions were meant purely to ensure that there is that prudence in utilization of county resources. And that element of the national government not releasing the funds, rather they have transferred the function, is one of the challenges we face, not only Makueni County, but in the 47 counties. I wish the Council of Governors can handle this matter perfectly, whether it means go to the court, so that it can be perfectly addressed. The President and the National Cabinet Secretary in charge of water, I can say they are failing our counties to deliver their mandates. Because if Kamunyoro was being under supervision by the county government, the project would be successful and our people would be enjoying that national, a very important resource. That is one of the biggest challenges. Honorable Speaker, we have these conditional grants, like the FROCA, which consumed 40 million for the said project. The environment, it is not purely being implemented by the water docket. And that brings confusion. Who should supervise? If you question the engineers in charge of water docket, they are even not aware of what has been procured, to what extent, or to what particular purpose is the resources being meant for. But now, a function of water, because of the same confusion, because it's a conditional grant, instructions are given from the national government, not from where we sit. Now, the Department of Environment lacks qualified personnel to manage that function. And therefore, we see this shoddy job being done. Like what the committee has been investigating today, Honorable Speaker. The source is dry, but millions have been meant to supply water to a huge scheme, to a large zone. But they didn't consider, do we really have enough source to supply that water to those places? We have even automated systems. We have automated kiosks. We have the kiosks, but there's no water. Because of that lack of skill, the water sample has no water. It's full of mud instead of water. And therefore, that is the challenge we are facing, and that's the cause of the failure of the project, which has just consumed 40 million. Therefore, we have to address this element and these fights of corruption so that at least we can serve our people perfectly. We can't, of course, blame the county government. This is purely a blame from the national government because of that failure to devolve the resources on water issues. Honorable Speaker, we have heard about a complaint by the honorable member where plots are meant on the pipelines. This is a failure from the municipality, the town planning element. They are not serious on their mandates. Recently, through an executive order, the governor transferred some functions to the municipality. But the confusion is very clear and very witnessed because actually I think you might be aware of what happened between the head of the department, where there was a fight between the leadership because of the share of corrupt resources, where the leaders were boxing one another, Honorable Speaker. Those are the elements which are causing the municipality not to function. The automation, which was to be done a year ago, up to date, it is not being exercised. And therefore, the Department of Lands and Urban Planning has not devolved the function to the municipality, so you don't know who should take what responsibility. There is that confusion. I think now the high time the governor should call this department in order and ensure what has been transferred to the municipality is purely being managed by the municipality, so that we cannot talk about plots being developed over the pipelines. Because it's the same problem we are facing when we are addressing the water drainage channels, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, I would urge now the committee to retreat and instruct the department and give timeframes on the action plan so that we see our people in the headquarters benefit from that essential resource, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, the committee has a mandate, and it is purely within you because you know the assembly has the powers equivalent to that of a high court. Now take that advantage. Article 185, Article 195 is very clear and strictly directs the committee on what action to take so that at least we don't just quarrel to ourselves, but we truly legislate to help our people. So, Honorable Speaker, it is the high time now you give direction to the Committee on Environment so that we can see some action plans and some seriousness towards the misuse of the limited resources that the county government enjoys. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I feel for the county, the headquarter dwellers, because I have heard every person must have a contact for a person who owns a donkey so that at least can get the supply of the water, because we have the pipelines, we have the kiosks, but the kiosks are dry. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Jackson Ndolo Kimunyi, member for Ukia Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to support what Honorable Mateso has raised. Yes, it is indeed the problem of water in Wote and the other towns near Wote has been recurring every now and then. In Wote, after every 2-3 months, we have shortage of water. In Kilala, in my ward, we suffering for the last 1 year because of the same problem, poor supply or inconsistent supply of water. Mr. Speaker, when you look at where the problem is coming, Mr. Speaker, one, it is because of poor management and the poor maintenance of our water system. The systems, all the sources, water itself, it has several sources of water. We have Mwani, which is a bore supplying water. We have the Kaiti, and we had the Kamunolo, which failed. And it failed because of poor workmanship. In Kaiti, it has failed because of poor maintenance of our water system. In Kilala, it failed because of poor maintenance of the system. And Mr. Speaker, we have a major problem of these bodies which are managing water system, and especially WAWASCO. All the water projects which are maintained by WAWASCO, Mr. Speaker, are not working properly. Mr. Speaker, when you look at the amount of water which is pumped and the amount of water which is paid, Mr. Speaker, it is not consistent. We pump a lot of water, but what brings revenue to those, to the company is actually less than a quarter. And at the end of the day, you find that the company is not able to collect revenue that can be able to maintain the systems. And as a result, you find that all the pumps, the systems in our water sources are not working because of that. The company is not able to pay water bills. You have heard what Honorable Mateso has said. The company has a water bill of around 8 million Kenya Power, to pay Kenya Power. That is electricity bill. In Kilala, we had the same problem. There was a bill of 700, which has not been paid. And we have also realized that, for example, if Mwani has an electricity bill of like $1 million, my water lines can be, or my pumps can be cut by Kenya Power because of a bill which is in another area or another project. So these are things which needs to be streamlined by this company so that we can be able to have water to our people. Water is life. When we have a town in Iwote where there is no supply of water, how do we expect investors to come and invest their money in Iwote? This is our headquarter, county headquarter, and it is a shame that our county headquarter does not have water. Therefore, it is necessary. We call the body which is entrusted with these water projects to maintain, to manage these water projects. We call them here, Mr. Speaker. If you allow, they need to come here and explain to us what is the problem. Because we cannot continue having our headquarter, which we are proud of, not having water, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, it is good that a message is sent to this body that they have to pull up their socks. We need to have water. We don't want to hear our systems are not working. The people who have been employed, the technical people who have been employed, if they are not able to maintain our systems, why are they there? They are paid because of that water. If they are paid and they cannot be able to maintain our systems, then they don't need to be there. It is a high time we get people who are serious, people who can be able to maintain our systems so that our people do not suffer because of lack of water supply in our towns. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I want also once again to say thank you to Honorable Mateso for raising this issue, and we need to take it a notch higher because we must get water to water. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Carthon's Ward, Honorable Meredith Maneno.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm among the 8 members who accompanied Honorable Mateso to do an impromptu oversight on the water shortage in Watertown. Honorable Speaker, what I can say in a nutshell is that the gaps that we have identified, and Honorable Speaker, if you allow, you will allow the committee, or rather the members that went and did that oversight, to come up with a report that with findings and observations, including the recommendations, so that this report can be shared among all the members and also to His Excellency, our Governor. Honorable Speaker, His Excellency Governor Mutula Kilonzo Jr. is very committed in serving the people of Makueni and delivering water to them. And we have seen this through the partners that he has onboarded on this sector. Honorable Speaker, it is very embarrassing to see an organization like WASCO cannot afford a master meter of 120,000 shillings. A company that is generating revenue from water, a company that the Department of Water and His Excellency the Governor is putting a lot of resources in it, but they can't afford, Honorable Speaker, they can't afford a master meter just to measure the amount of water that is going to the people. And this is, according to me, Mr. Speaker, this is loss of revenue. We are losing revenue. It's like they don't know how much water is going to the people. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, what I can ask and urge His Excellency the Governor not to tolerate this kind of people, this kind of incompetence in his department. Honorable Speaker, while I am making my contribution, I've realized that we don't have quorum. I also plead with you whether it is in order to continue debating on this motion when the assembly is not well constituted. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Marano, do you require a quorum to discuss the lack of water in water? You don't. You just to discuss as it is. Proceed. Proceed.
Okay.
You are finished.
Well, Honorable Speaker, thank you.
Fair enough. Any other member to contribute on this matter? Honorable Jen Kitunga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity.
Honorable Janet Kitunga, you are ranking member serving for the 3rd term. You can't be seen from where you are seated. I direct that you approach the dispatch table. The dispatch table.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for this honor. Mr. Speaker, I support what Honorable Mateso is following up, and I would say that the shortage of water in water is a crisis, Mr. Speaker, and as you said, it is a matter of count importance. Mr. Speaker, as a mother, a woman and a leader, it is very easy for me to mobilize people from this area because of this crisis. Mr. Speaker, as you all know, women have different sanitary cases, different from men. We cannot stay without water, Mr. Speaker. And as a resident of this town, I am so stressed up. I don't want to imagine how I fared over Christmas time when all my grandchildren visited me and their mothers, And Mr. Speaker, there was no water. I was forced to order water through a water mbuza, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is 12 years down the line since devolution started. It is a shame, a very big shame, to have no water in this county. Mr. Speaker, it is my right to get adequate and clean water. And more so, Mr. Speaker, it's a fundamental need to me. So what does it mean if there is no water in this county? How about, because this is the center of this county, how about the peripheries, Mr. Speaker? What are we telling our people? Mr. Speaker, if we don't have water, health is affected. Our health is affected. Our education is affected because children have to move from one place to another to fetch water rather than doing studies. Mothers have to suffer, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I would say that we are supposed to know the root causes of this water shortage in this county, and more so in Wote, which is the headquarters of this county. What is affecting what? Mr. Speaker, when I was doing my international diploma in transformational development, I learned that before you solve a problem, get to know the root cause of that problem. And if you don't get the root cause, you will be talking about one thing day in, day out. Honorable members, let us not play ostrich. This is a very urgent matter which we need to address. And if Owasco cannot sustain itself, there is no need of this water company. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Abana Swambua, you've come at the right time when members were contributing about scarcity of water in Watertown. Member for Emali Mulala Ward has said that for those who are in water, you must have a contact for a dengue vendor. In case there is no water, you order. And he indicated that a project that was launched recently, funded by USAID, there is no water. A group of members of County Assembly have visited Kaiti River, Kamunyolo. They have found that this morning there is a big problem. Proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Since this is the headquarters of our county government and the headquarters of our people for this region, the scarcity of water must be an issue. So, well, we should be very serious on this. The Department for Water has a lot of money. We have also have groups and also organizations in support since the devolution started in 2013. Mr. Speaker, to my knowledge, I understand one time you served as the Minister for Department of Water, and you did a lot. So we need to tighten up and also support the department, and also we bring the Minister for that particular department to this honorable house under your leadership. Before we used to have a whole house committee whereby you led as the chair, and I remember very well, we used to grill those ECMs from the executive, and we used to see very good work. The mutual understanding and also the kind of the relationship between this honorable house, Mr. Speaker, and the executive, I understand the outcry outside is all over, and we should also be very serious on this. And any kind of relationship, Mr. Speaker, I think now the county government and the executive, they have done their best. They have settled enough, so we need to push them. So when we go all over and you listen to our people, you find, Honorable Speaker, that our people are really complaining, particularly the Department of Water and also the Health Department. So these are two sensitive departments. And I know there's a lot of money for those two departments. So for the county headquarters, we should have plenty of water. So I support honorable members, I support the chair for that committee, and I support this honorable house to focus on that and to bring that particular ECM and also the chief officer and the entire department. And if the relationship of us being the majority party is Wiper Party, Mr. Speaker, we are going to push them. We cannot afford to allow our people of Makueni to suffer, and particularly the headquarter. If the headquarter where there is the governor and there is the executive and there is the honorable speaker and we are facing problem, it means the people who are living in Mukurulo, people who are living in those remote areas, it means they have suffered. So, Mr. Speaker, I totally support this honorable house, and I support the members, and I support this honorable house to make sure that we have prosecuted these groups of our executive members who have become jokers and who are joking all over. I wish the media team were here when I'm also communicating on this, that if our governor is here, our governor and the deputy governor and the manifesto of our party, Wiper Party, we cannot allow our people to be pushovers all through, to be pushed so that they can work for our people. So, Mr. Speaker, having our mayor and also the area MCR and a senior ranking member, one Mheshimiwa Mateso, Mr. Speaker, we need to be very serious also to protect our electorates who elected our senior member and our senior ranking member, one Mheshimiwa Mateso, from this particular ward. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say, much I will also contribute, as the members have contributed, but we are going to be very serious, particularly this 2025-2026, because we are approaching the election and our people have not worked. If they want to live the Casanova way, they will do it elsewhere, not within our county. We used to push Governor Kibwana, we used to push executive, and we used to see good work done. So if it is about our relationship within our party, that one is over. Now let us push our people to work for our people and for the people of Makueni, starting with this county headquarters. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Order, honorable members. That brings us to the end of business today. To our visitors, we wish you well, a nice study in the County Assembly of Makueni. The Sanjara terms, I will direct that you allow the pupils to access and have a feel of this chamber immediately after this. Time now being 16:00 hours. This house stands adjourned until tomorrow, 26th of February, year 2025 at 14:30 hours.